It took my uncle 7 years to drink himself to death. First he lost his job, then his wife, and finally his driver's license. He retreated to his house and had his bottles delivered. One night he decided to go downstairs to the basement, and he flew down the steep basement stairs. My aunt came by weekly to put the food on the porch. She saw that the newspapers and the letters were stacked, uncollected. They found him near the basement stairs, just a few steps away from his dark room. Now that I'm old enough, there were a few questions that I would have liked to ask him. Who did it to you, Uncle Pet? How old were you? Were you 11? Sometimes I think of my uncle as a flying Dutchman. In the opera, the Dutchman is doomed to wander the sea for 7 years. Once in 7 years, he comes ashore looking for a young maiden who, out of her own free will love him, release him. In my head, I think of my uncle in a Chevy 56, a spirit driving up and down the back roads of the city, looking for a young girl who, out of her own free will love him, release him. Summer of 1962, on men, sex and women. Mother, but listen to me.
It's out of the question, end of discussion.
But why?
Dilbit, I said no, I'm not discussing this anymore.
Mother, but I get to spend an extra week at the beach. You're not telling me why.
Dilbit, he pays entirely too much attention to you. I don't like it.
Mother, but he listens to me. He talks to me, all right? He knows an awful lot.
He's a small town chap who's learned how to mix things from Hugh Hefner.
Who's Hugh Hefner?
I don't know. Sid, I'm not discussing this anymore. I'm not letting an 11-year-old girl spend 7 hours alone in the car with a man.
Mother,
I don't like the way your uncle looks at you.
Just because you've had a tough time with my father does not mean every man under the sun is like that.
No, Dilbit. Not all men. We just haven't been lucky with the men in our family, that's all. It's not all men.
But, Mother, just because you lost your husband does not mean I don't deserve to have a chance with a father. A man who could look out for me.
I will feel terrible if something happens.
Mother, it's all in your head. It's Uncle Peck, all right? I know how to deal with him.
Alright, fine. Go if you want. But if anything happens, Dilbit, I hold you responsible.
I love the smell of your hair.
Uh-huh.
Oh Lord. A man could die happy like this.
Well, don't.
What shampoo is this?
Herbal essence.
Herbal essence. I'm gonna buy me some herbal essence. And when I'm all alone in the house, I'm gonna uncap the bottle.
Be good.
What?
Stop being bad. Be good.
What did you think I was going to say? What did you think I was going to do?
I don't know. I don't want to hear it.
I was going to wash my hair, that's all.
Oh,
What did you think I was going to do?
I don't know. Something nasty.
With shampoo. Lord girl, your mind.
And whose fault is it?
Well, not mine. I've got a mind of a Boy
A
Scout.
horny Boy Scout.
Boy Scouts are always horny. What did you think the first merit badge is for?
There. See? You're going to be nasty again.
I'm good. I'm very good.
It's getting late.
Well, don't change the subject. I was telling you how good I am. Are you ever gonna let me show you how good I am?
Don't go over the line now.
I'm not. I'm not gonna do anything that you don't want me to do.
That's right.
Just let me undo you. I'll do you back up.
All right, just be quick about it. You know, it's amazing the way you can undo it with one hand.
Well, I've got years of practice. Can I kiss them?
I don't know.
Come on, don't make a grown man beg.
All right, just one kiss.
You wanna lift your blouse now?
It's getting cold.
Well, that's not why you're shivering. How does that feel?
It's okay.
I tell you, you can keep all the cathedrals in the world. But just let me have a second with these celestial orbs.
Uncle Peck, it's getting late. I've got graduation rehearsal at school tomorrow morning, and I think you should get back to Aunt Mary now.
All right, little bit.
Don't call me that anymore, Uncle Peck. You know I'm a grown-up girl now.
I know. And you know, I really long for these moments I have with you every weekend.
I'll drive. In most families, people get names like Papa or Brother or Junior. In my family, when somebody gets called Big Papa, it's not because they're tall. In my family, folks get nicknamed for the genitalia. Uncle Peck, for example. My mama's that age was the titless wonder. And my cousin Bobby got branded for life as BB, for blue balls.
And of course, we were so excited when the nurse came in and said, it's a girl, it's a baby girl. I just had to see for myself. So we whipped your diapers down and we parted your chubby little legs. And there was
Just a little bit.
And you were so tiny when you were born. You fit in Uncle Peck's outstretched hand.
That's right. And there you were, right in this hand, just a day old.
Even with my family background, I was 16 or so before I realized that pedophilia did not mean the love for bicycles. "1969, a typical family dinner.
Mama, look. It's getting as big in the bust as you are.
Mama, please, could we please change the subject?
I hope you're buying her a decent bra. You know, I never had a decent bra while growing up. And now my shoulders, they're crippled from the weight hanging on them. You know, the dent from my bra strap is so big you can put your finger in. Do you want to see?
Grandma, please, don't address at the table.
Well, I thought entertainment came after dinner.
This is how it always starts. Next, my grandfather Big Papa will chime in.
You know, if little bit gets any bigger in the bus, we'll have to buy her a wheelbarrow just to carry in front of her.
Big Papa, how about the game on Sunday?
The only sport Big Papa followed was chasing Grandma around the house.
Or you know, maybe we can write to that actress, what's her name? The one with the big jugs. Maybe she can lend some of her used bras to a little bit here.
That's it. I can't take this anymore.
That's just the way of showing love.
She's getting so sensitive, you can hardly say the word.
Mama, I'd like some privacy, all right? Some goddamn privacy.
At least she's not using the Savior's name.
And Big Papa wouldn't let a dead dog lie. No siree.
She better stop being so sensitive, Lucy, because, you know, 5 minutes before she turns, her tits turn
That's
first.
it. That's it.
Can't let him get to you. When he wins,
But I hate him. I just...
it's fine. You have a good meal, then he can.
Casserole's really good, Grandma.
Well, of course, Little Bit got a big surprise coming for her this fall when she goes to that fancy college.
Papa, let it go.
No. Why does she need a college degree for, huh? She got all the credentials, she ain't on her chest.
Yeah, maybe because I want to learn. Rise above my illiterate background.
Okay, what do you want to learn, huh?
Well, there's a whole course on Shakespeare, for example.
Shakespeare. That's a good one. Well, how is this Shakespeare of yours going to help you in life?
I think it's a nice course. She's getting on scholarship.
But how is Shakespeare going to help her lie on her back in the dark?
That's it. You know what, Big Papa? You're growing old. And you're going to die very, very soon. Maybe even tonight. And when you get to heaven, God's going to be a beautiful woman in a long white robe. And then she's going to look at your chart and say, oh, fornication. Oh, disgustingly vulgar with blood relatives. Well, one chance and all will be forgiven. That is if you name the play. And then she'll quote, the quality of mercy is not strained. And your answer, too bad. Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 3. And then she's going to send your ass to fry in hell with all the other chauvinist pigs. Excuse me, please. And as I left the room, Big Papa would say,
Lucy daughter's got a big mouth on her, huh? No point in wasting the good food. Just pass me a plate, Mama.
and Aunt Mary would come up to Uncle Peck.
Peck, go after her, will you? You're the only one she listens to when she gets like this.
All right.
And as Uncle Peck left the room, Aunt Mary would say,
Peck is so good with them when they get to be this age.
Well, I suppose you're not talking to family. Does it help that I'm in law?
Don't you dare make fun of this.
I'm not. Although I do think when Big Papa meets his maker, he'll definitely remember Merchant of Venice.
I need to get out of here.
You're going away soon anyway.
But I hate this family.
Grandfather's ignorant. And you're right. He's gonna die soon, but he's family. And family's family.
Grown-ups are always saying that. Family.
You'd get to know what we're talking about once you grow up.
Oh, so you mean family is like an acquired taste, like French kissing?
Come again?
It grosses you out at first, but then, it's okay. You kind of get used to it.
Girl, you're something else.
Uncle Peck, can I please have the keys to your car?
Where do you want to go?
Just up the road.
Can I come with you?
No, just your keys, please.
When can I see you alone again?
Tonight.
Are you feeling fine?
Uncle Peck, why is the car so far?
Right. We'll take a more direct route. Don't feel down, you feel dizzy. Open the door.
What are we doing?
We were just waiting here till your tummy settles down.
But this isn't right, Uncle Peck.
What isn't right?
What we're doing, it's not right.
What are we doing? We just came out for dinner, that's it.
But it's not right to Aunt Mary.
Let me be the judge of what's right and what's wrong for my wife.
Now you're getting mad.
I'm not mad, little prick. I think you understand me. You're the only one who does.
But someone's gonna get hurt.
Have I forced you to do anything?
I guess not.
We're just here enjoying each other's company, that's it. You know nothing's gonna happen if you don't want it to happen. You want something to happen.
I don't know.
Then I'll wait. I've been waiting for a very long time. I'm a very patient man.